Hi everyone, welcome to TGIF, another Friday, another episode. Recently, Microsoft Research published a blog article titled Building Next Generation Applications Powered by Large Language Models with Multi-Agent Conversations. And the framework is titled AutoGen. Now, we spent some time as a team to understand what is AutoGen, and I thought it's best to welcome an expert who always takes an extra mile to learn something new. So it's my pleasure to welcome Srikanth Shankaran, Senior MTC Technical Architect, for a short conversation. Srikanth, welcome to TGIF.
Yeah, hi Sandeep. Good to be here again.
Wonderful. Srikanth, AutoGen, a new term we heard recently.
Yeah.
All these days, we definitely went deeper on topics like lang chain semantic kernel. So, AutoGen, in simple terms, what does it really mean? What does it do?
Yeah, I think we all know, or we have heard this enough, the fact that we have Copilot now being supported and powered by large language models.
Right.
And it greatly helps individuals perform their jobs extremely efficiently, quickly, etc., etc.
Right.
But it's more like these agents can perform a particular task when actually you giving those natural language input to it.
Right.
But no, I think we're looking at a new kind of framework, the name AutoGen that you mentioned, where it helps you to build an application which is a combination of multiple agents.
Okay.
And rather than they just going after a task which you ask them to, they're able to converse amongst themselves. And sort of given the complexity of the task, they're able to autonomously make those decisions, interact with each other, and make the whole thing possible. So that's a new kind of paradigm that we're seeing with the launch of this AutoGen framework. I think it promises a lot for us.
Well, you use the term called converse among themselves. That's very interesting. That means they'll have capability to actually take a task and split it into multiple, I would say, subtasks. And if that requires conversations between agents, that can happen is what you're saying.
Correct. In fact, if you look at frameworks like LangChain and semantic kernel, so you have this notion of the orchestrator or a planner, which is able to take the task and then it sort of shares context across multiple actions. It's able to orchestrate the whole thing. But now we're talking about a scenario where, so that's more like a static conversation where it flows in a pre-meditated path.
Got it.
But then when you want to have dynamic conversation, things sort of unravel as you go on, and then so there is no predetermined flow. Okay. So these agents are able to pick those pieces up and be able to handle those dynamicity and then make such use cases also possible. So early days, I'm still trying to grapple with it. So I think, but what it promises and what it promises to bring to the table, I think is quite profound, and I intend to, get more into deeper on that.
Wonderful. Let's dissect this a bit. So now, AutoGen is a framework, and technicalities aside, if you have to simplify, what does it comprises of? What are the building blocks of AutoGen?
Yeah, in fact, it talks of two types of agents. Okay, one is called a conversable agent, other is the customizable agent.
Right.
Conversable in the sense that the core essence of that, the fact that they are able to talk to each other rather than waiting for a human to interact with them all the time. It's like they can talk to other agents and sort of understand and sort of have a conversation and make certain things possible.
Got it.
The other thing is that while they do that, they also need the power of LLMs, and the power of some programming. For example, you need to have a Python runtime and do certain things and perform some actions, and also probably invite a human into the loop. Okay, it's not that it's going to be 100% autonomous, but there are some stages where probably it is instructed to reach out to a human to make sure things are validated and whether things are going the right direction. So that's when humans can also sort of intervene and make sure they're a part of the whole conversation. So that's quite, so that's the essence of what the two types of agents that are available.
You earlier said they converse among themselves. Who orchestrates this? Is there a agent who is orchestrating all this? It's like a group chat that fundamental we have in perspective.
Yeah, so we have the assistive agent AI, which is about those agents able to talk to each other, and you have something called user proxy agent, which is where actually it interacts with the user and then seeks input and validation and so on and so forth. And then you also have the group chat manager, which sort of orchestrates the whole thing, make sure it's in control of those things.
Perfect. In fact, the Copilot, in my view, is a user proxy agent in itself, right? That means the Copilot is taking instruction, it is going across and spinning off conversation with agents. They come back, and if at all user input is required, my Copilot will tell me, hey, I've got this in place. Now tell me what next, or can you validate this? That's a conversation that probably becomes practical on the ground, right? Wonderful.
And in fact, just a good example of that, how things pan out and how they are able to do certain things autonomously is, let's say you want to, you upload a file and then you want to plot a graph and do some insight, derive some insights from it. So you start with it and then you realize that, hey, I think you are not installed certain libraries. And then one of those agents will prompt saying that, hey, I think you want to perform this task, but you don't have those agents installed. So let me go ahead and install them. And then so it just performs that action automatically, and then brings the next part where you can actually say, no, go ahead and please generate those insights for me. So that's how actually interactive they are. They are almost able to think ahead of you and sort of let you know that this is what needs to be done to make that such an action possible.
Brilliant. I think this is a next level of conversations, right? We always said we've entered an era of conversations right now powered by large language models. And here, I presume when it comes to group conversations, they use LLMs internally to understand each other. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the idea I also gathered from having looked at it. Of course, looks promising. We still need to delve into more details.
Awesome. No, this is the first conversation. I'm sure we want to probably go deeper as we go along. But since this was a new topic, which was released on 25th of September by Microsoft Research, I thought we'll probably bring introduction to this topic in this episode. So thank you so much, Srikanth, for this wonderful conversation. With that, thanks for watching us today. Keep watching TGIF. A wonderful Friday. A great weekend ahead. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.